Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM. You're listening to Talk Local to Me, brought to you by the Central Virginia Business Coalition, with your host, Heather Alto and Diane Erd.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am so excited about today's episode of Talk Local to Me because I feel like it is truly, we are talking local today. And if you are a fan of country music, if you are just a fan of local, supporting local in general, and supporting our local nonprofits, we have got all of that today. And so I'm actually here in the studio. We have Zach Burnett. Hello.
Hi. Hello. Thanks for having me.
And Zach is a local musician that we've heard play quite a lot around here. And he's really getting a name for himself as a solo artist. I know you've done some things, with other duos and, bands before, but you've kind of gone into the solo.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. So he is going to be opening tonight for Phil Vassar at the Mellow Mushroom for a event that they're doing to support our local nonprofit, Miller Home for Girls. And so we have Stacy Garrett on the phone with us from the Miller Home. And I just want to welcome her to the show. Hey, Stacy, how are you? Hold on. Stacy may not be on the phone.
Made it?
Yep, there we are. How are you, Stacy?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me in this afternoon. I'm glad to be able to support y'all, but also support tonight's event at Mellow Mushroom featuring Zach and Phil.
Yes, I am. I'm really excited to see that y'all are able to have something this year. I know, you guys have tried to do, whether it's a concert or a golf tournament each year to raise money for the Miller Home. And were y'all able to do that last year in 2020 with COVID?
We were not able to do a concert, but we were able to do a golf tournament with guidelines and precautions. So we're able to get the golf tournament off in the fall, but this is actually the first concert we've had since COVID took over in 2020. So we're excited about this evening.
So tell everyone who's listening that may not know what the Miller Home for Girls does in our area and what y'all's mission is in Lynchburg, or you serve, outside of Lynchburg as well.
We do. We're actually a home for girls that need a safe place to live, have been in Lynchburg since 1875, and have never taken state or federal money. So we completely operate by donations and our community support. And, of course, events tonight featuring Phil Vassar, who continues to come back and support us, definitely help raise awareness as well as donations all at one time and one go. But girls come from at-risk situations all over Virginia, sometimes even out of state, that need a safe place to refocus, regrowth, make some positive changes in their life as they enter that young adulthood, and we can keep them here till they're 21 as long as they're taking 12 college credits a semester. One of the only programs really in our area that continues to house girls once they graduate from high school. So we're glad to be able to do that as well. Our tagline is changing lives one girl at a time.
And what type of resources do you provide for the girls that are there? I know I have been to the Miller Home a couple of times, and I've actually had the honor of working there. We've done the Day of Caring through my Connect networking group, and I know we went and helped build some of the raised bed gardens in the backyard, because y'all do teach your girls how to do things like that, like gardening and being sustainable when they leave the home, correct?
We do. We actually run it very similar to a regular home. They, of course, have a daily schedule. We introduce family-style meals, which some of them have never experienced before. We get them involved with a network of professionals that can help them with their physical needs, their mental needs, also educational needs. They do go to public school here in Lynchburg, Virginia. Just trying to make sure we're building their network of people that can provide them the guidance and the care to recurve to the right path of growth and success, and where they're feeling confident about who they are. We all know that middle school and high school years for anybody, but especially girls can be very difficult. So that's kind of where we step in and help the girl, but also help their family with the goal that hopefully they can return back home. And there's a wide variety of ranges or reasons why they come to Miller Home. We just hope that whatever that is, we can kind of join in on their life and be able to make those positive choices. They can work part-time jobs. They can learn to drive. They can go to proms. They can play sports. They learn how to cook. And so we really do run it like a regular home, just a little bit harder with, of course, the regulations we have to follow. But we get to be a part of their daily activities and successes, and we are truly the lucky ones.
So why is it so important to have local support for the Miller Home? And, what does it mean to have, people like Phil Vassar that come back each year and help to, do these types of events that bring in money, since you are not, funded by the government?
Right. I think it's a great addition to our community, and truly Lynchburg has welcomed us in since 1875, and it allows our community to be a part of a growth of children. And so I definitely think when I speak about the files that we receive about girls that we admit and talk about the hand of cards that was dealt to them that has been unfair, and how we work as a community to rally around them and support them and provide them the care that they can reach and become young, successful adults in our community. I think it's vital to our success in the Lynchburg area to be able to brag that we're taking care of girls, our own, that can return back into the workforce, can become successful young women in our area, if not in Virginia, and just have the capability of surviving. I think that's a great importance. Phil came along about 2008, really, about 13 years ago, and jumped on in with us. And, he has not only become a part of our program, but he's also become a great friend. And wherever he goes, I know he mentions Miller Home for Girls, and just truly is connected, as well as his family is very connected to what we do here. And so his support allows us to continue on through the good and the bad and the ugly. And definitely we saw some ugly times over the past year, but just knowing he was with us and leading the charge and sharing the awareness, I had no doubt that our doors would remain open throughout those pandemic days and allow us to care for girls that still needed a place to call home and feel safe and be tucked in their bed at night.
That's actually one of the questions we were kind of wondering this morning, was how Phil got involved with the Miller Home, like what that connection was. And so I guess it's just something that and I'll probably ask him this when he gets on with us in a little bit, but did y'all have to reach out to him, or did he just kind of hear about the Miller Home and become involved that way?
Well, I think about, like I said, probably about 2008, I was introduced to his mom and his sister, Tracy, who lives here in Lynchburg, and we started having a conversation about Miller Home and what we do here. They went and saw Phil, I believe, over Thanksgiving, and just kind of brought it to his attention. And I'm sure Phil will say he remembers coming as a young child with his youth group to sing Christmas carols to the girls at Christmas time. He is one guy of many females, from his daughters to his sisters to their sisters, that have rallied around him. And so he just felt a calling, like it was a great placement, not only for him to give back in the community, but give back to girls that seemed to be in our area, but also seem to surround his life on a daily basis too. And so we got a lucky phone call one day, and I just stood in amazement, because if you remember 2008, it was another hard year for a lot of people in the United States. There was a lot going on, and it was just like the phone call that just came out of nowhere. That was a true miracle. And since then, those miracles have happened over and over and over again. And we were truly blessed by his compassion, by his care, but also the care of his mom and sister that presented it to him, and just brought him along here, and they come to every event that he does for us. And so I feel like I've gotten to know them, and have seen his children grow up, seen the nieces grow up as well. And so it's definitely been a true community involvement. If not, I feel like I'm part of their family.
That's amazing. I mean, that's just you probably looked like I did last week when I got the email back that he would actually come on the podcast with me, because I probably stood there for a few minutes and I was like rereading the email and I was like, wait, what? So I was so excited. But I love the fact that he does that and he gives back to his hometown. I think that's great to see with someone who's, become what most people would call a celebrity from our area. I mean, he is a country music star. So I think that's amazing. But so for people that are listening, what types of needs do you have at the Miller home that anyone, even here locally, could help out with on an annual basis?
That's a great question. I appreciate you asking. We're open every day of the year. There's never a day that we are closed, because this is where they live. This is their home for however long they need it to be. And so we have needs of food, we have needs of school supplies, we have needs of clothing, we have needs of, if there's an activity going on in our community that we could bring the girls to, we'd love to be invited to that. We have girls that play sports, so sometimes we need sponsors to offset the cost of uniforms. We have actually 2 seniors graduating this week. One will be going to Randolph College, and one is actually still trying to decide what she wants to do. Again, it's transportation needs. It's picking up medications that insurance doesn't cover. It's just helping us provide the daily operations that people run their own homes. It just still needs to be ran here at Miller Home. We don't take or we don't require parents to pay to place girls here. So that is where we definitely need the community support. And so that allows those homes that are really struggling and need someone to help out, we can still do that without a cost being connected to that. And so again, Lynchburg has been great about allowing us to do that through donations of, month-to-month credit card donations, or giving on our Facebook, or coming to these events that we do in the community. But even in the past year, we had people dropping off chips and snacks and hand sanitizers and things, that toilet paper that were hard to get, that we could continue to operate. Our doors never shut down at Miller Home, and to a great smile on my face, no girl caught COVID while living in this building. And I believe that just becomes from prayers and from people taking care of us and stepping up no matter what, and continuing to protect the girls that live within these walls.
And I think that's really important for the community to know, because before I did some research into the Miller home, I think most people assume that you are federally funded. I think they think that you're getting your money through social services and through the government or through the county. And, they don't realize that you're not, and y'all are doing this really more of a service of love to these girls, because you take as young as age 4?
We take as young as age 4, but usually it's middle school and high school that we get placements for. And you are correct. We don't get any money from state or federal government. It truly is from these events. It's truly from people that donate to us on a monthly basis. It's truly on people that network for us and bring awareness to those in our community and those around the world. And we get donations from Phil. Even people have never met us, but where he has shared it in an article or on stage, or even has talked about us. So it is a mission. It is a true compassion of everyone that has touched, given, donated, been a part of, prayed, shared, that continue to allow us to operate on a day-by-day basis. And when you're a nonprofit, those are vital to our success and for our year-to-year capabilities of keeping the doors open.
So for anyone who's listening or may pull this up as a podcast, later, tell us how can they find out more about you if they want to make a donation? Where can they go to do that? I know the Central Virginia Business Coalition, we are all about supporting local, and that that also includes your local nonprofits. And we like to make sure people realize that supporting your local businesses and retailers is great, but we want people to also look at our local artisans, our crafters, our musicians, our, nonprofit organizations. So tell people where they can go to support you.
Great. Two places that they can definitely go to is our Facebook, which is Miller Home of Lynchburg. Easy to find. We update with pictures, we update with events, and if you're on Facebook, there's even a place that you can donate. The second way is, of course, our website, which is all one word, millerhomeoflynchburg.org, not com, but org. That's another way. Again, there's a secure way people can donate or they can learn more about us. And then, of course, the social media way is Instagram. If you want to just see what's going on and maybe it kind of sparks your interest or leads you in a way that you want to give back, you can follow us on Instagram. And of course, you can always call here at Miller Home 434-845-0241. And I would always love to talk with you.
Stacy, thank you so much for coming on with us today. I know you're super busy getting ready for the show this evening. And y'all are sold out, correct?
We are sold out, but you know what? Mellow Mushroom is going to have the Touring Fan Live, and they're going to be presenting it through Mellow Mushroom's Facebook. So people that were not able to get tickets can follow us there. They can see Zach perform, they can see Phil perform, and be a part of the event. I'm a little bit nervous. We've never done it this way before, but why not? Let's be creative. And we greatly appreciate Zach stepping up and being our opening act and starting the connection with Miller Home tonight. Looking forward to hearing him. And then, of course, having our locally owned great superstar country artist Phil Vassar, finishing out the evening at Mellow Mushroom. And again, the staff at Mellow Mushroom appreciate them being our host for tonight. So thank you for having me on. Always appreciate ways to share what we do. Always love promoting local artists as well as Phil Vassar. So hopefully we'll see you this evening. If not live there, follow us tonight virtually.
Yes, I plan on watching it virtually. I'll probably be dancing somewhere in my kitchen. But thank you so much, Stacy. So before we...
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you. Before we move over and start talking with Zach and listening to him play, he was playing for us before we got started. And I could probably just let the whole rest of the show go listening to him play music. I do very quickly want to make a mention to our show sponsors. They help to support us and let us continue coming on live every week and talking local to you. So Visiting Angels of Lynchburg, they are located at 2900 Old Forest Road. They are a private duty home care agency serving Lynchburg and surrounding counties. And they have been named the best in home care and best employer in 2019, 2020, and 2021. So Visiting Angels puts its clients' needs first. And to learn more about what they offer, contact them at 434-337-3836 or visit their website at www.visitingangels.com/Lynchburg/home. And then also Taproots of Lynchburg. They are located at 3718 Old Forest Road, Unit B. And they are your source for homeopathic and quality CBD products. Homeopathy medicines locate the root of your health issues and help to reverse them naturally. And so stop in and check out the products that they have or visit their website at taprootsva.com. Voted number 1 in CBD and homeopathic remedies in our area. So they are rooting for your health. So thank you so much to both Visiting Angels and Taproots for being show sponsors this month. So, Zach, let's move over to Zach Burnett. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for having me.
So you're performing tonight, but you have another performance right after you leave here as well, right?
That's right. Yeah, I'm playing at the Summit Assisted Living, and I play there once a week. And let me tell you, it's a fun time because a lot of these elderly folks, they throughout the pandemic haven't had a lot of people come out to see them. So I think this is a big morale boost for them. So it's just as much as joy for me as it is for them. So. And
I've also heard that a lot of seniors, music will help kind of bring them back.
Does. Yeah,
and they get really excited about dancing and singing and performing?
Well, yeah, a lot of them suffer from dementia, but as soon as you start singing an old gospel song or anything, you can just see their faces
know
light
it.
up and
Yeah.
sing every word to it. So,
Oh, you're like a hero to them, I'm sure.
well, I've made a lot of friends, so they're like heroes to me. So,
Aw.
So here's my question. Because I just know, how do you sing all day and like you still have a voice? Like I'd be, as much as, if you're like here and then you're going to the summit and then you're singing tonight, I always see these people that sing a lot or do things like that. And I'm like, how are you not, worn out?
well, I don't ask me in a couple of years, baby. I don't it might not last too long, but I'm young and spry. I like doing it. So, once you find something that you enjoy and other people enjoy, it's great. You don't want to stop doing it. So
That's cool. I'll sing 30 minutes in a car and I'm done. Done with myself, done with all of it.
Well,
Gotta turn
I'll
on
sing and
something
everyone
else.
around me's done.
I didn't say I could sing. That's probably why our voices hurt, our throats hurt, because we're not singing correctly.
I think I sing real good. And then I'm like, I'll listen to some. No, I'm not that great. But I'll keep on singing because I think it does bring joy. Even if
It does.
you are horrible at it.
Yeah.
I sit there and listen to my daughter in the shower. She makes up words. It cracks me up.
I always make up the words. I can't help that the artist got the words wrong.
Well, but it's having fun. That's what it's all about. So, I mean, I made a principle a long time ago. Once it starts, once I start not having fun playing music, something's got to change. So, but anyways, I've been very lucky and grateful for everything I've been a part of.
So how did you get started? What kind of got you into playing?
Was brought up listening to a lot of older music, and anyways, there was a fella where I went on vacation during the summers fishing with my dad, and there was a fella down there that started playing guitar and showed me some stuff, and then I've been hooked ever since. It's the most expensive habit I have now.
Are there any other singers in your family? Because your voice is amazing.
Oh, thank you. I guess my brother can can whistle pretty good, but
Whistle, I can't
See,
whistle.
I can't whistle either.
I can't whistle at all. So.
Uh-uh. I do on an accident sometimes.
Nope. I have no artistic talent whatsoever.
But
I've seen you dance though.
yeah, I got some cousins that play some music, and I started out playing with them too. But
Okay.
yeah,
So you have a new album getting ready to come
that's
out.
right. Yeah, I just finished it. So it'll be out on my website May 31st. And if you would like to pre-order it, you can go to www.zachburnettmusic.com, and you can pre-order my album.
So I'm gonna give you an opportunity to play something from it in just a minute, but I'm gonna ask you a couple other things before we do that. I know I've seen you play a couple of times, both with another. I think when y'all did the one for Harmony Day Support out at Benjamin's, I remember, and this was one you had like this one fan. I think she must come to everything y'all used to, and I loved how you guys interacted with your fans, and you come out and you were talking to them, but y'all do such a. I mean, you have some people that act like they don't even know who you are, and I'm sitting there like, but
Do you get upset when they don't recognize you, Heather?
I do. I do. I'm like, wait a minute. But
You're squealing.
that's why I'm glad Phil's not right here, because I would be. I don't even know if I'd be talking right now.
Well, I'm not doing the show by myself, so.
But tell us, like, what made you decide to go like solo? Was there a reason, or just?
Well, I wanted to start making my own music. I've been writing most of my life, and that's kind of, I just wanted to write songs and put them out there, and I've been pretty lucky to being able to do that. Been working with some good people on recording it, and got some Nashville cats that played on it, and so I mean, it's just one of my dreams, and it's coming true for me. So.
You're a busy guy. I was looking at your website earlier, and when you click on, was it shows or events or whatever, it's just like every other day, it seems.
Well, this May was actually my busiest month, because I've had 22 shows this month.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is today's date?
A lot of double dippings, a lot of 2 shows a day. But I wouldn't change it for the world.
Golly, you're gonna have to be sponsored by like Sucrets or something. Some of those lozenges where you can just
Sponsored by Folgers Coffee. Right now.
I know that's right.
Yes, or we can get a local. Let's see if we can get a local coffee shop around here.
Sure.
But sponsored by Mission House. Tommy, what you doing? But so you're playing Thursday too at
Yes,
Peaks
ma'am.
View Brew and Games. They're actually members of ours, the coalition, and You said they're going to be teaching line dancing?
Yeah, so there's a guy named Jeff Raymond, and he is actually the announcer
Oh, I know him.
We know Jeff.
I know that
at
fella.
the baseball field. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, as far as I know, he's instructing the line dancing, so he will teach you.
Seriously.
I think.
Oh, I'm definitely coming now, Jeff. I'm
Yeah.
coming. If you're listening, I'm going to be there.
But yeah, he got in touch with me, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So I'll have my band there, and we'll be playing for all the line dancers.
That's cool. Is it kind of like what you used to see back in the day at Catalani's? Was it back in the 90s that was popular?
Yeah, I guess it might be something like Urban Cowboy or something, you know.
Okay, so I line danced at Catalani's back
Are
in
you
the day.
serious?
Yes, I did. They used to have like a mechanical bull there, but I did. I used to line dance to like I was saying earlier, Boot Scoot and Boogie, and I can line dance to Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks, and I can two-step. Two-step. I can do the Urban Cow. That's one of my favorite
I can
movies,
trip.
by the
That's
way.
what I do. I be tripping.
Oh no, I love the movie Urban Cowboy. I can watch that over and over again. But anyway, we don't want to go back to movies like we did last time.
Yeah, because
Let's
I
start
haven't
digressing.
watched that one either. I need therapy. This rock is heavy that I live under. I can't seem to get out from under it.
So how did you get involved with tonight's event with the Miller Home?
Well, Gary Campbell reached out to me, and he had seen me play at a little place in Rustburg, which is my hometown, called Long Mountain Grill. And
Oh, yeah.
anyways, he reached out to me, and he told me about everything, and I was like, yeah, I'd be happy to. So, like I've done a lot of work with different organizations, and it's always a good time and it makes you feel good to help other people any way you can. So.
Well, we've had you play at Centerfest, and actually, you were when we put out the post that said, "Who would you guys like to see?" You were like an overwhelming responce to.
Yeah,
they wanted you guys at Centerfest.
That was me. So
yeah, was it just you? Were you under like different names? We just want to hear
Joke's
that.
on you.
I've got 20 accounts.
That's great. So play. Let's have you play a little bit from whether you want to play from your album that you're coming out, or
I'll play something.
I'm gonna make you play some Johnny Cash though before we leave because you sounded amazing earlier.
You want like a happy song?
Sure.
Yeah, no sad songs.
I'm a live stream this.
Let's do happy.
You gonna live stream it?
Well, I think I am. I'm not
Let's see if I can make this thing work.
technically challenged.
Can I go ahead and start?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been a line holder in a highball, just chasing that old dollar. Been a door swinger and a bell ringer since I came out of the holler. I've been up and down, I've been around and round, Lord, I don't know where to begin. I just hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, hammer down again. I just hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, hammer down again. Like a left lane freight train, shifting into high range, keeping it in the wind. I may slow it down one day, I don't know when. I just hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, hammer down again. I've hauled grain off of the plains, salt from Manistee, beer from old Milwaukee, and Jack from Tennessee. Coal off of the mountain, steel from Birmingham. I haul coast to coast, whatever pays the most, brother, I don't give a damn. I just hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, hammer down again. Like a left lane freight train, shifting into high range, keeping it in the wind. I may slow it down one day, I don't know when. I just hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, and hammer down again. I let a hammer down westbound, turn around eastbound, and hammer down again.
Yes, I was about to just take my headphones off and start line dancing over here.
Well, I had my live on. You should have.
Oh no, because that's why I did not. Because nobody needs to see that mess.
Oh, yes, we do. You don't know.
So for those listening, well, you probably didn't hear it here first, but I'm just saying So that's gonna be on your new album, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And is that so? When I was on your site too, you have some of your music available for download. Like they can actually download different.
So I have 4 songs already available to download, but this new album there'll be 10 songs on it. So.
Oh, okay. So that's not one of the ones that's already.
That is actually one of the ones that are.
It is? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So
But it will be on the album as well.
Okay. So tell everyone again where they can go to download or to.
That's right.
Yep.
So you can go to www.zachburnettmusic, ZACHBURNETTE music.com. Or you can check me out on Facebook too. I'll have links to that website. But that's Zach Burnett Music as well.
So I read that you also have played. Now, have you played at the Grand Ole Opry? Were you on the Grand Ole Opry radio?
Yeah, I was on the radio show.
Okay.
658 WSM.
Yep. See, I do my research.
I did see that. I saw that.
Ah.
Yeah.
I didn't write it down, but I saw that.
Do you go to Nashville often?
I haven't been in since like 2018.
Look, I'm like a star. I'm a starstruck person. I'm like, have you been to Nashville? Like, where have you been? Who have you seen?
I'm no star. I'm like one of those glow in the dark stars that you glue on the ceiling.
But you have to start somewhere, and I think that's.
You like that one?
She's gonna get your
We
autograph.
got Woody over there about to fall out.
I got to kill my
chair.
mic over there. I'm giggling.
But I love the fact. I mean, you have to start somewhere, and
That's right,
you're
yeah.
starting here locally, and you give back, and you're always performing, like you said. Even going and performing at the senior home that weekly. I think that's great, and being able to just get your music out there, and like you were saying, do something fun, do
That's
something
right.
that you're loving doing, and another artist that did the same thing here in our area, and we have him with us right now, is Phil Vassar. So good afternoon, Phil. How are you?
Well, howdy. How are you guys doing?
I am doing great. I don't even know if I can talk right now.
Oh my goodness, Phil Vassar. So Heather is blushing right now.
You're
She
not
is
even in
just.
the room.
I know. Calm down, girl.
Oh my goodness, I am such a fan of yours.
Oh,
So, look, I can't even
you're
talk.
sweet. How are y'all doing?
Doing good. We are doing really good. And thank you so much for agreeing to come on the show with us today. I, when I messaged Kelly and Scott, I wasn't expecting a yes. I was telling them I was looking at my email when they wrote back, and I couldn't even, I read it 5 times before I got excited.
Oh, well, I'm glad to be on with you guys. I'm glad to be back in Lynchburg. It's fun. It's funny. I'm actually, I'm here a good bit. My mom and sister still live here, but my mom's in Nashville now most of the time, so I don't get up as much as I used to, but I always come up a couple of times a year to do the Miller Home events. And I love doing it. I really, really do. I'm so lucky I get to do it and be part of that.
So I know that, of course, you grew up here in Lynchburg and you graduated from Brookville.
Mm-hmm.
My dad graduated from Brookville, so he is all about anybody that
There
went to
you go.
Brookville. So, yes.
And what about you?
Me?
Where did you go?
I went to EC Glass. So I did actually have a lot of girls
There
from the
you
Miller
go.
home that went with me to EC Glass. So I knew a lot about the Miller home when I was younger. But and then my sister went to Brookville. So I don't know why. I mean, we live in EC Glass, but she decided to go to Brookville. But probably
She had
because
to
my
be
dad.
different.
Yeah.
My parents went to Glass. Both of my parents, so of course, I grew up in town, and then as we moved out a little bit, then I went to Brookville for high school. But it was great, man. I love it, and Glass is a great school too, man. It's a lot of history,
Mm-hmm.
It's an old school, been around a long time. When you think about, I still got my parents' yearbooks from the 50s, or something, 60s.
Yes.
Really fun. Fun
Yeah,
to see.
I go through my mom's all the time too. So, but I think
Isn't that fun?
it's funny that you mentioned that because I knew you went to Brookville, but then, so the song that you sing, "American Child," is a lot about your life in Lynchburg, or at least the beginning of it. And it actually
Exactly.
gives the address where you grew up, and so I'm not going to even be ashamed. I Googled it, and I saw that it's
Stalker.
it's actually in the EC Glass district. So I was wondering, I was like, how did he go to Brookville? So, and he just answered my question.
Well, it did. I went to, I went to Paramount, which was a school right up there at my elementary school. And I went to Sandusky, and then we lived in Florida, and for a little while, and then I moved back. I went to high school at Brookville, and where we moved, we were in the Brookville district. So I really loved it. It was a great experience for me. I was at JMU also, of course. So I stayed in Virginia for all of that stuff. But it's as soon as I got out, I went to Nashville. I've been out. It's hard to believe I've been in Nashville for so long now.
So how did you get
I love
started?
It. It's home now. How did I get started?
Yeah, how did you get started? What kind of pulled you towards Nashville or singing and the music career?
Well, it's always been my dream. It's all I've ever wanted to do, and it's kind of a good thing. I actually did okay because I don't think I had a plan B. So it was for me it was just I'm going to go to Nashville. I want to be a singer. I want to write songs, and then I just did it. That's the thing. A lot of times, if you kind of I just kind of knew it wasn't going to happen here. I was like, I have to go. You have to go where the epicenter of music is, and it's Nashville, New York. It's in Los Angeles, and I've been to New York, and too cold. LA's nice, man, but I tell you what, it's a whole different vibe. It's a cool vibe, but it's different. Nashville, man, I felt like I was home from the moment I moved in. I really did. I had about $200 or something like that when I moved down there in a car with a hole in the floorboard, and I got a hotel room for a couple of days till I could find something, and then got a bartending job. So that's how it happened, man. And then I just started knocking on doors and playing clubs and all that stuff. The typical deal. But it was amazing, man. I mean, I look back at that adventure, and a lot of people, have these aspirations and dreams, but they just never take the plunge. And it is a plunge, right? Because everybody's like, well, we'll see you in about 6 months. We'll see you in a couple months. But
Right.
That was it, man. I moved there and I never came back.
See, and I think
Except to do the Miller Home events.
I think that's so important for people to hear, and especially for those, that are younger that don't know kind of what they're doing, or maybe like you don't have a plan B and they go, you hear people tell you can't do something. So it's nice to hear those that they did. They went out and they did it. And
Well, it's good to hear you've got such a vision and drive where, I mean, I'm 45 and I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. So I'm taking notes over here.
No. You know what though? I think you're right. It's important just to. I mean, it's good to have a dream, and I love coming home to Lynchburg, and seeing my friends and that I grew up with, and I love it. I love coming home, and I really do. But it's just, my home's in Nashville now, and it always probably will be. That and the beach. I think. Anything with sand on it just gets my attention, But Lynchburg's always going to be my hometown, and I come home and I do these events and I see my family and I see my friends, and it's like we picked up. It's like we're the same kids we were when we were 16, So it's great.
Well, let's talk briefly about this wine cellar that I saw. Don't you do a show and you film it in your wine cellar? Because that's pretty impressive.
I do. We shot 40 episodes of Songs from the Cellar on Circle Network. So it's been an adventure, man. I've had everybody in there from Mike Tyson to Carrot Top to Steve Cropper to Tommy Shawsticks, Peter Frampton.
I saw the one with Dennis Quaid.
Yeah. Dennis Quaid. Dennis is my neighbor now, so which is really fun. And he moved to Nashville. And Billy Bob. There's so many of my buddies just sort of have done the show, and it's been great. I've just had so much fun doing it. And I'm actually getting ready to start shooting another deal. I think we shot. I don't know if the cellar's we're gonna do any more there, but we'll be doing more stuff. I think it's exciting, man. It's just it was just sort of a vision. Once again, I went out, bought some cameras, and Tommy and John Rich was in my base. We were in my cellar just kind of hanging out, talking and catching up. And it's just a great place to hang. And I've lived in this house for a long time, and it's an older house, but it has a great wine cellar. It was a bomb shelter that I converted it into a wine cellar. And
for future reference, I like wine.
There, where I cut all my albums. What's that?
I said for future reference, I like wine. Like Woody's shaking his head at me because I'm always talking about wine. So.
Well, you know what? Wine's a good thing. I've learned. Everybody thinks I know all this stuff about wine, but I have great friends that are incredible sellers, incredible winemakers out in California and Europe and all over the world. So I've really gotten to, explore. The fun thing about it is all these folks send me these great, incredible wines from all over the world, which is not a bad problem to have.
No.
Especially for somebody that really doesn't drink,
Oh, wow.
But my friends sure enjoy it when they come over. So,
yes.
Heather wants to be
really,
that
really
friend.
Cool. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, my family calls me a wine hoarder because I keep all this. I have like 80 bottles. I'm not telling people where I live, but like I just keep it because I love it.
I didn't know what you said at first, but so you said hoarder.
Yes, okay. A hoarder.
But anyway,
she's been called many things.
A hoarder. I hoard the wine. I keep it all with me. So
funny.
But
I love it.
One thing too, I think a lot of people don't know, or maybe they do, but a lot of people, they hear you sing and they've heard your songs, but they don't know that you've written a lot of songs for people as well. Because I didn't realize until recently that you wrote Next 30 Years for Tim McGraw. And so you've written quite a few songs that people are hearing out there that aren't necessarily sung by you.
Well, that was kind of wow. I mean, believe me, if you just told me that was how I was going to get my break as a songwriter, I never would have thought it. It was always because I had all these publishers, all these people in Nashville going, man, your songs aren't very good. Your songs aren't good, but you got a good voice. You need to get real songwriters to write your songs for you. So I was like, well, I think you're an idiot. So I just because I was playing. I had my own club. I had my own bar in Nashville and restaurant, and then I was playing. And I had these huge crowds every night would come in and they loved my songs. I mean, so I felt like that was a cool way to try out new songs was play for my customers, and I'll never forget the first night I played like my Next 30 Years. People went crazy. They loved it. I was like, wow, I wrote it that morning. I played it that night. People loved it. And then, and then I took it into some publishers, and then they were like, I don't get it. I said, okay, well. And then, of course, me and Tim and Garth, Chesney, all of us were friends, right? So we all were in the same sort of circle. Alan Jackson, and, of course, Alan's a great songwriter, and Jody Messina, Faith Hill. We all kind of were in town at the same time, sort of looking for our breaks. And then of course Tim and those guys, Kenny and those guys, took off and blew up before I got my deal, and they helped me to get my deal, and so that's kind of the way it used to be more, I think, and it's kind of that way now a little bit, but I think it was always like, man, this guy, he wrote all these songs for me, man, he needs a record deal. So anyway, that's kind of how it worked out for me.
I wish I could name drop cool. Like you do. My neighbor, Dennis Quaid.
Because I could what?
Name drop.
Oh, name drop, yeah. And I'm not trying to name drop, but I've actually got, it's funny, I've got a great neighborhood and a great, bunch of the folks that are in music live around each other, which is kind of cool in Nashville. And, but of course we were all nobodies at that time. And, just trying to get some attention, trying to get songs on the radio, and it's just funny how things work out, and a lot of my friends have had great careers, and I'm happy for them, and I've had a great career myself, so I'm very blessed. We're all blessed.
Yeah, you've definitely had a great career. I look at the different things that you've had, the number one singles and albums, and male vocalist of the year, the new male vocalist of the year. back in 2002. So, I mean, yeah, definitely a great career. But before we have to let you go, tell us a little bit about your, the Miller home and how you're connected with them, and, why you're supporting them each year, because I think it's wonderful.
Well, you know what? For me, it was I was in the choir as a kid in the youth group at Parkview Methodist, which is right next to EC Glass, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I was a kid, I'd go to church there, and for Christmas we would sing for the Miller Home girls, and that's how I was first introduced to the Miller Home. And it was just, always thinking, it would make me sad that they didn't have anybody or have anyone, that they lived in this home, for the holidays. So it was really emotional. I remember that even as a young man, as a kid. So I remember thinking about, wow, I'm lucky, I've got a family, or, somebody that I live in a home, whatever. It wasn't big, but it was a home. So as I was looking for a charity to sort of support and come back to, my sister and my mom were watching Stacey Garrett on the news, and she was doing one of these little programs and talking about the Miller Home. and literally, it was one of those things. I said, I'm looking for something to come back home to sort of support. It would be really, really nice. And they were like, what about the Miller Home? I said, is that still around? And, sure enough, it was. And Stacey's those guys have done an amazing job of getting the word out and what they do for those girls. And, I come from all girls. I have no dad. It was my grandmother, my mother, my sisters, my nieces, my daughters. So it is just women all the time, face down in the estrogen pool of life. That is where I am. So it is, it's pretty wonderful. So I get to, be part of these young women's lives, and they're getting married now. They're having kids of their own, and I've seen a lot of that in the last 12 to 15 years.
Yeah, they're definitely a great organization. And, the organization that we run, the Central Virginia Business Coalition, we work a lot with nonprofits in our area. And we've done some things with the Miller Home. And it's just nice to see people supporting the local nonprofits in our area, because they all, regardless, they all have different needs and support that they need. And I think that it's wonderful that you give back to your hometown that way.
Yeah, they really do, and especially with COVID and all the stuff that's happened, is that everybody's in more need than ever, than they need support, and I just love it. Now we're lucky to be able to do this, and I'm grateful you guys are talking about it. Thank you for doing that.
Yes, well, I'm looking forward to seeing your show tonight. I'm gonna live stream it, and I've seen you in concert when you were you did the concert for the Miller Home back at Phase 2 a few years ago, and
wow,
so I was there. Yeah, I always go back and look at the pictures from that night, because I went with a bunch of friends, and I was so excited.
She's like reminiscing and blushing.
I'm not blushing. It's hot in here though, Woody. But thank you so much, and I'm really looking forward to watching the concert tonight, and thank you for agreeing to come on the show and talk to us today.
Well, I'm glad I could do it. I appreciate y'all having me, and anyway, anytime. Let's just do it again. I loved it. I enjoyed it. You guys are fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And like I said, we'll talk with you soon.
Well, y'all have fun, and have a great day. And thanks for talking about the Miller Home. And we will see you soon.
Yes, thanks
Phil.
Bye, y'all. Thanks. Bye.
I'm waving to him like he's in here. Like I'm so
this.
I'm so flustered. It is hot in here. We need to do something with the AC.
I'm fine. I'm wearing long sleeves.
I feel good.
Yeah, so, you got a little bit of like drool right here.
Stop. No, I do. Like, it's Phil Vassar is actually one of my, I love him. And it's funny, Tim McGraw. Like I wish I was living in his neighborhood. I'd be like, Hey, I'd be all day long. Like just,
You'd be walking laps around that neighborhood.
I'd be skinny, yep, because I'd be peeping in everybody's windows. I'm like, what's going on over here?
In their window.
Well, last year Alan Jackson came to town, and year before last. And I ended up getting like last minute tickets, and we were up in like nosebleed section at Berglund Center. And we're sitting there, and this lady walks by, and she's like, hey, we want more people down in the pit. Do you guys want free passes to go down to the pit? I mean, my husband couldn't even catch me. I was gone. Like, I grabbed them tickets, and I was like running. Because she was like, you have to be there within the next 10 minutes, like before he gets on stage. And so
Were you like elbowing people?
Oh, yeah. I
like a mosh pit?
I was on the front. Like, he gave me his guitar pick during one of the songs. Like, he actually leaned down and gave it to me. And yes, it's sitting on.
You don't wear that like jewelry?
No, I should. It's sitting on. It's on my desk.
It's in the safe
at my house. with my
with
wine.
The wine. Exactly. But you need to look up his wine cellar. If you haven't seen it, it is impressive. And I'm not a wine drinker, but I would drink wine in that cellar.
Okay.
I think he's got whiskey too. I think I read that, so I'd be there for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, before we end, because we've got about another 8 minutes or so. I wanna hear from Zach again. I want to hear some more music. Look, he's like, oh, let me. So
wake up.
You can. He's like, I gotta get to the summit. I got these ladies ready to dance. But if you play something else from your album, or like I said, I want you to play Johnny Cash again before you leave. Though.
Oh my gosh!
Well, how about I do that?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, he's such a great voice.
Oh, thanks.
I'm gonna be blushing about you in a few years. You watch. I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, I met Zach.
Should be doing that next week.
No. Is it getting hot in here?
I'm gonna be bragging about it in about 10 minutes.
I'm gonna put a bib on you.
You want like a Ring of Fire or something like that?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
I
one.
know that song.
You want me to do the trumpets?
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
No one's ever said that for a mouth trumpet. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
I can't do that. I'd be spitting all over the
Most
mic.
people are like, oh my gosh.
I'd be like,
It's the last you're going to hear is the mouth trumpet. I'm sorry. I hope the train comes by. Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went high. And it burns, 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 that ring of fire, that ring of fire.
I feel like I should do something.
The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I fell for you like a child, and oh, if I was wild, I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went high. And it burns, 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 that ring of fire, that ring of fire. And it burns, 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 that ring of fire, that ring of fire.
Woo, woo. Now it's warm in here now.
I was getting ready to tell Woody to cut my mic off because I wanted to sing the whole time. Don't nobody want to hear that. But that's what I was hoping for over here. So
that was good.
Thanks. Even the trumpet?
Even the
even
trumpet.
the
The trumpet was impressive. Like I said, I'd be spitting all over the place if I did that.
the trumpet made it, man. I mean, that was awesome.
No.
I love sound effects. Can't do none of them, but can't whistle, can't do sound effects. So, well, thank you so much for coming on with us today. I appreciate it because I knew you had, the event tonight, and then when I contacted you, you were like, "Well, I have to be at the summit at 1:30." I was like, "Oh, well, that's okay. You can make it."
I can, yeah. I'm happy to do this. Yeah, this
Get
is
over
fun.
here.
Nobody pull him over. He's got a good excuse.
Yeah. I have a police escort all the way.
That's
to
right. Yes.
I need one of those sometimes.
I feel like that's, we do need that sometimes, going back and forth between all the different ribbon cuttings and events, and things that we do. So,
well, before we leave, I want to say congratulations to all of the 2021 graduates.
Yes.
Including my youngest child. Yay.
Yay.
Graduates on Saturday. I'm so excited.
Congratulations.
Yes.
And for those that are graduating this year and even those that graduated last year, I know it was so different for you guys because of COVID. So, congratulations to you guys for persevering and getting through it, and whether it was virtually or in person.
Virtual. It's been a stressful morning for me. Because like I said, he's my youngest, my baby. Mm-hmm. They're out the door. My job is done. So I'm sad about it. I don't know what to do now. I need a hobby.
I still have a 9-year-old.
Oh, gosh. I got arthritis. I can't do that.
All I had to worry about today was field day.
Field day.
I had to listen to that all morning.
Oh,
it's field day, Mom. So, but yes, congratulations to all of the graduates. Yes. And is the graduate parade this Thursday here in Bedford?
Yes. My son actually he just started his grown-up job today in Roanoke, so he will not be available for that.
Oh, yeah, that's right, graduates. You will have grown-up jobs coming soon.
Yes.
Things like that. Well,
make that money.
I don't know if my kids have... No, I'm just kidding. Most of my kids have grown-up jobs. But, so, for those that can live stream tonight's event from the Mellow Mushrooms Facebook page, please do listen to Zach and Phil and, make a donation to the Miller Home for Girls. They definitely need it, whether it's monetary or whether, like Stacey said, whether you are able to bring by snacks or, needs that they may have at the home.
She said a lot of needs that most people I don't think would have thought about. So I'm glad that she put that out there.
Yeah, I didn't even think about clothes because I see a lot of people talk about where can they donate clothes, and I did not even think about the Miller Home.
No.
So, so definitely find out more about how you can support them. And again, thank you to Zach and Phil and Stacey for coming on with us today and talking local to us about the Miller Home for Girls. So we will see you next week. We'll be back at our original time on Wednesdays at noon. And don't forget to check us out or our podcast on Spotify or wherever you get your local podcasts, grovestreet.fm.